Welcome along, fellow time travelers and strange historians. As you know, I've been driving all around North Carolina, documenting the devastation of Hurricane Helene on these beautiful little towns. And it's been quite a nightmare. To be honest with you, a lot of it is very, very difficult to watch. I have actually made decisions to not share with you some of the videos that I have shot. That's how bad it is. I mean, it's really upsetting stuff. And the people of Western North Carolina most certainly do not deserve this. Nobody does. Anywhere, anytime. But there are some really wonderful people out here, and they're doing the best they can to live good and decent lives. And thankfully, they've been able to rely on their neighbors to help them out. So while driving around, I keep finding these beautiful little towns, and I thought I would share this one with you. I've actually been here a number of times. I really love it. This is my kind of place. It's called Old Salem, and it's in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. And so this time around, we're going to travel back in time to walk around the town Old Salem. You're going to see some really cool images, some of which you may have never seen before. Before I begin, please like and share the show and subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell. Now let's begin our journey. Old Salem, located in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, was founded in 1766 by the Moravian Church, a Protestant group originating in what is now known as the Czech Republic. The settlement was designed as a carefully planned community, reflecting the Moravian ethos of religious devotion, communal living, and economic self-sufficiency. As you will see, the town was divided into defined spaces for worship, residences, and work. Emphasizing harmony and functionality. I really love the architectural style of Old Salem because it reflects the Moravian heritage and their commitment to craftsmanship. Buildings were constructed using local materials, primarily timber and brick. And they exhibit a blend of Germanic and early American styles. Hallmarks of Moravian architecture include steeply pitched roofs, dormer windows, and symmetrical facades. There's a lot of key buildings here in Old Salem that I'll just tell you about, and you can see if you can spot them along the way. You've got one building known as the Single Brothers House. It was built in 1769. It is a large dormitory-style building for unmarried men. Probably a good idea to keep those unmarried men together. Then there's the Home Moravian Church, which was built in 1800. It was the religious and social center of the town and featured a simple yet elegant design. And either in this walking tour or the next one, you're going to see the Salem Tavern, which was built in 1784. Which is easily one of my favorite buildings here in Old Salem. It was a hospitality space for travelers and visitors, indicative of the Moravian tradition of welcoming outsiders. And then, of course, you have workshops and tradesmen's homes. These were buildings for blacksmiths, potters, and carpenters that combined living quarters and workspace. The town was arranged to encourage social cohesion, with narrow streets and close-knit buildings fostering interaction among residents. Gardens and shared green spaces were also important because they provided food and medicinal herbs. By the mid-19th century, the centralized control of the Moravian Church over the town began to wane. Economic changes, including the rise of nearby Winston as a tobacco industry hub, shifted the focus away from Old Salem. The Moravian Church's control of property was relaxed, allowing individuals to own land privately, which altered the communal ethos. By the early 20th century, many of the original Moravian families had moved away, and the area, unfortunately, fell into disrepair. As Winston and Salem merged into Winston-Salem in 1913, Old Salem became overshadowed by the modern city. The once thriving Moravian community was effectively abandoned, and many buildings deteriorated. The revitalization of Old Salem began in 1950, spearheaded by a group of preservationists led by John A. Fries Blair and other local visionaries. Recognizing the historical significance of the site, they formed Old Salem, Inc., stands for Incorporated, a nonprofit organization dedicated to restoring and maintaining the area as a living museum. Old Salem, Inc. acquired and restored key buildings using historical records and photographs to ensure authenticity. They also partnered with historians, architects, and craftsmen to reconstruct structures lost to time. Today, Old Salem is a meticulously preserved historic district and living museum, attracting visitors from around the world. The Living Museum is now managed by Old Salem Museums and Gardens, a nonprofit organization that oversees its educational programs, events, and preservation efforts. The organization collaborates with local schools, universities, and cultural institutions to enhance its educational outreach. Old Salem serves as an invaluable educational resource, offering immersive experiences that bring history to life. Visitors can engage in hands-on activities such as pottery making, blacksmithing, and baking, learning about 18th and 19th century trades and skills, which more people should have, by the way. Costumed interpreters provide insights into daily life, demonstrating traditional practices and sharing stories of the town's inhabitants. The museum also explores broader historical themes, such as religious freedom, the role of women in Moravian society, and the interactions between the Moravians and enslaved African Americans. This comprehensive approach makes Old Salem a vital tool for teaching history, culture, and community values. Now, I don't know about you, but I like to walk through places like this and imagine what life was like way back when. So let's talk a little bit about life here in Old Salem during the 1800s. It was structured and community-oriented. Moravians adhered to a disciplined schedule of work, worship, and recreation, with a strong emphasis on mutual aid and shared responsibilities. So, as far as work, residents practice various trades, including pottery, blacksmithing, carpentry, and farming. Men and women both contributed to the economy, with women often managing households and engaging in crafts like weaving and sewing. Religious practices were central to life, with daily prayers, hymns, and Sunday services at the home Moravian church. Children attended Moravian schools, which emphasized both practical skills and religious instruction. The close-knit community provided a sense of security and belonging, with frequent gatherings for meals, music, and festivals. Now you got to admit, that must have been a pretty cool way for them to live. How much kinder and gentler and decent would people be today if they knew their neighbors and were friendly with everybody living around them? Have you ever been to Florida? I have friends who live in Miami and Fort Lauderdale and Palm Beach. They tell me they live next to the same people for years and years and years and never even see them. Don't even know their names. Incredible, right? South Florida isn't the only place, of course, like that, but there's sure a lot of people there who are just brand new to the area and don't get involved with the community or with their neighbors. And I don't see how it's benefited anybody. The Moravian emphasis on shared values, communal living, and close proximity fostered a strong sense of unity and cooperation. This way of life provided several benefits. For starters, you've got mutual support. Neighbors relied on each other for assistance, ensuring that no one faced hardship alone. And then you've got cultural preservation. Living in a tight-knit community allowed the Moravians to maintain their traditions and pass them down to future generations. As of the date of this recording, there's been an effort to destroy traditions and destroy the idea of having future generations, at least in Western society. And it hasn't been working out very well, has it? No, it hasn't. And then, of course, you have economic resilience. The collaborative economy, which shared resources and specialized trades, created a self-sufficient community. If there was any kind of an emergency, do you think you could depend on your neighbors and you to be part of a self-sufficient community? Probably not. If people's phones went down for an hour, they'd probably go out of their minds. And then let's talk about emotional well-being. The sense of belonging and shared purpose reduced isolation and fostered mental health. As of the time of this recording, there's a lot of lonely people in the world. People just don't have their families and friends around them anymore, like they used to. And once again, it doesn't seem to have worked out very well. And so maybe this experiment of people not liking each other, people not talking to each other, people hating each other, over silly things, minor things. Maybe that hasn't turned out to be the best way to go. And so yeah, I mean, if you had a choice between living in a small, tight-knit community like Old Salem, how it used to be anyway, and modern communities, which is the best way to go? I mean, modern society often emphasizes individualism and mobility, which could lead to weaker social ties. People today are less likely to know their neighbors or participate in communal activities, which can result in feelings of isolation. The Old Salem model demonstrates the benefits of strong community bonds, shared values, and mutual aid. While it may not be feasible to fully replicate such a lifestyle, modern neighborhoods could benefit from incorporating elements like shared spaces, cooperative initiatives, and community-focused events. And not just for the people that have kids. In many cases, it's the older folks that could benefit the most from community-focused events. And so I really love this area. I love coming here. I love walking around. Because I think Old Salem stands as a testament to the enduring power of community and tradition. Its history, architecture, and revitalization offer valuable lessons about the importance of preserving cultural heritage and fostering strong social connections. As a living museum, it not only educates visitors about the past, but also inspires reflection on how we could build more connected and supportive communities today. Did you go to college? What kind of college did you go to? If you did go to college, chances are you did not go to one like this one. This is Salem College, located here in the historic district of Old Salem. It holds the distinction of being the oldest educational institution for girls and women in the United States. It was founded in 1772 by the Moravian community, and it began as a school for young girls and has evolved over the centuries into a distinguished liberal arts college dedicated to women's education. In 1772, the Moravian settlers established the Little Girls' School in Salem, reflecting their commitment to providing education for all members of their community, regardless of gender. Elizabeth Osterline, hope I said that right, recognized as the school's first teacher, began instructing a small class of girls, laying the foundation for what would become Salem Academy and College. The institution expanded its curriculum over time, and in 1802 it was chartered as Salem Female Academy. This charter marked a significant milestone as it allowed the academy to operate independently of the Moravian Church's direct financial control, setting the stage for its future growth. By the late 19th century, Salem Female Academy began offering collegiate-level courses. In 1890, it awarded its first baccalaureate degree, officially transitioning into a college. The institution was then renamed Salem Academy and College, reflecting its dual mission of providing both secondary and higher education for women. Throughout the 20th century, Salem College continued to evolve, balancing tradition with innovation. In 1972, Alma Hines Boyd became the first African-American student to earn a degree from Salem College. In 2022, Salem Academy and College celebrated its 250th anniversary, commemorating its rich history and reaffirming its dedication to women's education. And so if there are any girls or teenage ladies watching this, you may want to consider Salem College to fulfill your quest for higher learning. Because you got to admit, it's a pretty cool place to go to college. So what do you think? Would you like to live in a place like Old Salem back in the 1800s? You couldn't hang out on the computer all day, that I can tell you. In the 1800s, the main way people made a living in Old Salem was through a combination of craftsmanship, agriculture, and commerce, all influenced by the Moravian community's values of self-sufficiency, skill, and cooperation. The town operated as a thriving hub of trade and industry, with residents contributing to the economy based on their specialized trades and skills. Pottery was a big thing. Old Salem became renowned for its pottery, particularly earthenware and stoneware. Moravian potters produced functional and decorative pieces, many of which were sold to neighboring communities. Blacksmiths provided essential tools, nails, horseshoes, and metal goods for the community and nearby areas. Skilled carpenters and cabinet makers crafted furniture, homes, and tools, contributing to both local use and trade. The textile trade was significant, with residents producing clothing and fabrics. Women often worked in these trades, spinning and weaving wool or linen, or both. But agriculture was the backbone of Old Salem's economy. Residents grew crops such as corn, wheat, and vegetables, and raised livestock like cattle and pigs. The Moravians' communal ethos meant that some farmland was collectively managed, with surpluses traded or sold. Many households maintained small gardens for herbs, fruits, and vegetables, which ensured a steady food supply for the residents. The Salem Tavern was a key source of income, offering lodging, meals, and goods for travelers and traders. It also served as a venue for social gatherings. Stores in Old Salem stocked imported goods and locally produced items, serving both the community and visitors. So, what do you think of Old Salem? If you could travel back in time to the 1800s, would you live in a place like this? You know I would. Kindly remember to like, share, and subscribe, and hit the notification bell because there will be more shows like this one, and I hope you check those out too. Please check out the links below to learn how to support my research and productions. This channel is sponsored by CampfireShop.com, where you can order the highest quality and exclusive candles, herbal supplements, teas, and more. I'd also appreciate it if you could become a member of my channel and or join me on Patreon, where you can watch exclusive walk-in tours of cool places that I've been to. You could also leave a super thanks in the comments below. Kindly be kind to all of our fellow Earthlings and please do not harm them. And please do yourself a favor and go to a local shelter and adopt a cat or a dog or both. You and they will be very glad that you did. Until next time, I wish you safe travels on all your journeys.